Hello, today I will read Exodus chapter 29. In 28 we saw that the priest should wear their own clothes and now made they are made by to give them dignity and honor and now we read next. What's next? This is what you are due to consecrate them, so they may serve me as priests. Take a young bull and 2 rams without defect. And from fine wheat flour without yeast, make bread and cakes mixed with oil and wafers spread with oil. Put them in a basket and present them in it, along with the bull and the 2 rams. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Take the garments and dress Aaron with the tunic, the robe of the ephod itself, and the breastpiece. Fasten the ephod on him by its skillfully woven waistband. So, before I continue, was it enough a special cloth? No, they should consecrate Moses and Aaron Moses should consecrate the others, the Aaron and his sons, as priests. Put the turban on his head and attach the sacred diadem to the turban. Take the anointing oil and anoint him by pouring it on his head. Moses to Aaron. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics and put headbands on them. Then tie sashes on Aaron and his sons. The priesthood is theirs by a lasting ordinance. In this way you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. So why God didn't choose other people from Israel to be priests? Okay, Aaron, but why his sons? Why not the other one? It's by blood legacy or something. I mean Moses and Aaron, and they were brothers, and but Joshua is not their brothers or in the line of Moses or Aaron. And his sons of Moses were not priests, just sons of Aaron. Interesting. And Aaron and his descendants are to be priests, not Moses. Why? I don't really know. Put the turban on his head and attach the sacred diadem to the turban. Take the anointing oil and anoint him by pouring it on his head. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics and put the headbands on them. Then tie sashes on Aaron and his sons. The priesthood is theirs by a lasting ordinance. In this way you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. Bring the bull to the front of the tent of meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Slaughter it in the Lord's presence at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Very interesting. To put their hands on its head, and after that bull to be slaughtered in the Lord's presence. Take some of the bull's blood and pat it on the horns of the altar without your with your finger, and pour out the rest of it at the base of the altar. Then take all the fat around the inner part, the covering of the liver and both kidneys with the fat on them, and burn them on the altar. But burn the bull's flesh and its hide and its offal outside the camp. It is a sin offering. Interesting. Symbols have parts that can be sacred and saint. And other parts that can be a sin. That are a sin. Take one of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head, with the bull. Slaughter it and take the blood and sprinkle it against the altar on all sides. Cut the ram into pieces and wash the inner parts and the legs, patting them with the head and the other pieces. Then burn the entire ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to the Lord by fire. Take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Slaughter it, take some of its blood and pat it on the lobes of the right ears of Aaron and his sons, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. Then sprinkle blood against the altar on all sides, and take some of the blood against the altar. It's the translation, I don't know. In Romania, it's not like that. And take some of the blood on the altar and pat, and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his garments, and on his sons and their garments. Then he and his sons and their garments will be consecrated. Take from this ram the fat tail, the fat around the inner parts, the covering of the liver, both kidneys with the fat on them, and the right thigh. This is the ram for the ordination. From the basket of bread made without yeast, which is before the Lord, take a loaf and a cake made with oil and a wafer. Put all these in the hands of Aaron and his sons, and wave them before the Lord as a wave offering. Then take them from their hands and burn them on the altar along with the burnt offering for a pleasing aroma to the Lord, and the offering made to the Lord by fire. After you take the breast of the ram for Aaron's ordination, wave it before the Lord as a wave offering, and it will be your share. Very interesting with wave offering. It is a very interesting thing to wave something. Consecrate those parts of the ordination ram that belong to Aaron and his sons, the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. This is always to be the regular share from the Israelites for Aaron and his sons. It is the contribution of the Israelites are to make to the Lord from their fellowship offerings. Aaron's sacred garments will belong to his descendants, so that they can be anointed and ordained in them. The son who succeeds him as priest and comes to the tent of meeting to minister in the holy place is to wear them 7 days. Take the ram for the ordination and cook the meat in a sacred place. At the entrance to the tent of meeting, Aaron and his sons are to eat the meat of the ram and the bread that is in the basket. They are to eat these offerings by which atonement was made for their ordination and consecration. But no one else may eat them, because they are sacred. And if any of the meat of the ordination ram or any bread is left over till morning, burn it up. Burn it up. It must not be eaten, because it is sacred. Do for honor, so even if it was sacred food, it could expire. So they should burn it up. Do for Aaron and his sons everything I have commanded you, taking 7 days to ordain them. Sacrifice a bull each day as a sin offering to make atonement. Purify the altar by making atonement for it, and anoint it to consecrate it. For 7 days make atonement for the altar and consecrate it. Then the altar will be most holy, and whatever touches it will be holy. Wow, very interesting. This is what you are to offer on the altar regularly each day, 2 lambs a year old. Offer one in the morning and the other at twilight. With the first lamb offer a tenth of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a quarter of a hin of oil from pressed olives, and a quarter of a hin of wine as a drink offering. Sacrifice the other lamb at twilight with the same grain offering and its drink offering as in the morning, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to the Lord by fire. There we have lots of details, and it was about a bull at first, and now it was about 2 rams. And bread without yeast. And about 2 lambs after that. Sacrifice a bull each day as a sin offering to make atonement. 2 lambs a year old. And olive oil. Wine. Very interesting. Lots of ingredients. Sacrifice the other lamb at twilight with the same grain offering and its drink offering as in the morning, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to the Lord by fire. For the generations to come, this burnt offering is to be made regularly at the entrance to the tent of meeting before the Lord. The blood will be like very each day two lambs and I think a bull should die. 2 rams too, I think. Or no, 2 rams. It was about ordination, but for 7 days make atonement. Each day maybe from those 7 days, I don't know. Or daily, I think. For the generations to come, this burnt offering is to be made regularly at the entrance to the tent of meeting before the Lord. There I will meet you and speak to you. There also I will meet with the Israelites, and the place will be consecrated by my glory. So I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar, and will consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Then I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God. They will know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of Egypt, so that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. So I am the Lord their God, but the people should sacrifice animals that to God. This was about the price. Very interesting, but it's an exterior thing that should make you understand what is the real meaning of everything. I mean, a consecration, an ordinance. It's not just like that. I mean, there must die animals. They must make those rituals with blood and with which is to show you that it is a very important thing to be a priest. It is not just, oh, I'm a priest. No. And it has some weight, some value. And to be so consecrated, to be a saint, and yeah, it is very interesting. Exodus and those chapters are Leviticus and maybe more they are mixed with the rituals and all the God laws. It's not old. They were like a shadow to what will come, and if you don't know the invisible thing, I mean, it's like an invisible thing, but it have a shadow. So it means that it is true. It really is something here. If you see just the shadow, so you look at the shadow, but you must look at the object too. And if you cannot identify the object, you must look at the shadow. A shadow is just a part of what the real thing is, and it must have three shadows, like a perspective or isometry or something, and one part is this, one part is that, and one part is from the left, one part is from the right, the projection, and one part is from up to down. And if you can identify those three projections, you can identify the real object. But just with the shadow, a shadow is just a shadow. Maybe you don't know the real truth if it's just shadow. If it's a projection, maybe you must study all the Bible. Old Testament and New Testament are like two projections. I don't know if they are, in this case, they are three projections, but and one from your life. I mean, you must identify the God from your life too. That was the chapter, and may the God enlighten me in the next chapter too. And if He wants, you will see me there too. God bless you all, and goodbye.